The film I saw was Voces Inocentes. In English, it's called Innocent Voices. It was made in Mexico, but the story is in El Salvador. The film is not based on a book, but more on someone's personal life that they went through. The movie takes place in 1986 in El Salvador during the civil war it was having at the time within its own people. The main character in the movie is Chava, or one of the main characters in the movie is Chava. He's a 11-year-old boy. He's just like any other kid. He loves messing around. He likes playing with his friends. He likes music. And he doesn't know what's really going on in the world. He just knows that there's a war and that there's always shooting at night past, I believe it's 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. when the sun goes down. And he's very happy throughout the movie, except for the end. Uh, he makes everyone laugh and smile. He's always whenever things get sad, he knows how to lighten the mood, and he's just a very kind little boy. You know. And another main character is Kella, his mom, and Kella is very serious throughout the movie. She's very like mean but not rude. She's just a typical mom who's just looking out for Chava and his older sister and his younger brother, making sure that they're okay within this time where it's very dangerous to be out at night, and it's also El Salvador and you got to make sure your kids are safe. So she's very mean, but like a mom that cares mean. So they fight, but not all the time. They just disagree a lot. Um, One way Chava changes during the movie, or like what the problem he faces is he loses his innocence because in the very beginning he's this kind, lighthearted little boy, and at the end he goes throughout the movie changes him, and he's not this lighthearted little boy. He knows how the world works, so he in a sense he loses his innocence. So like the title, Innocent Voices, because he was innocent, and what the war did to him, it, like just changed him and didn't make him a little kid, and he had to grow up very fast at just 12 years old. And he evolves because he's not a kid anymore, and he's forced to grow up, and he has to deal with the death of his friends, the death of the love interest, which is a girl that he liked and was trying to impress throughout the movie. And like he eventually did impress because they kissed at one point. So they were basically going out, but he lost her because she died in the movie. Spoiler alert. And then he it's hard to say how he overcomes it because he just deals with what happens, and he kind of grows up because at the end, um, most of his friends are dead. His house is destroyed, and he comes home to his house just destroyed, and no one's there. His parents left. The whole village is gone. And then he finds his mom, and he says, "Let's go home, mom." But they have no home. But his home is with his mom and his family. So I guess that's how he overcomes it. He comes to terms with how life is now. My favorite scene has to be within. There's this battle that goes on where I don't want to spoil it, but like Chava almost dies, and this the military uh is about to execute him, and the guerrillas, or like the other side of the civil war, like the people the military is fighting, show up and they start shooting them so they don't shoot and kill other innocent people that are also there going to die with Chava. And there's just this big fight going on. Chava runs away, and as he's hiding, they're fighting in the forest, and one of the guerrillas falls and he dies, and the gun's there, and he sees another soldier shooting, and he picks up the gun and he starts aiming it at the soldier, and the soldier takes off his helmet, and it reveals to be a little boy. I believe it's his friend from when he was in school that they took away earlier in the movie. And he comes to realization. He puts the gun down, and then it cuts to a scene, or it cuts back to the soldier, and he looks over, and it's just Chava. He leaves the gun and he runs away, and you can see him run away. That's my favorite scene because it Chava did not want to resort to violence. He wasn't a violent kid. He never really liked to fight. He was always smiling, and I liked he always came and was always happy and never wanted to hurt anyone. And that was really cool. And I really like that scene because it shows how much he is like still a child and doesn't want to hurt anyone. And then um the culture, there was a lot of like Catholicism, I believe that's what it is, or Catholic, or the religion Catholic, because there's a church and the story not really revolves around it, but has to do with many Catholic stuff. There's many scenes in the church, and the father talking to Chava and trying to give him advice and helping him, and there's also like talking about like praying and hoping that the war ends soon, and then others was how they would sell stuff because Chava would go and sell his mom's because she would sew, so Chava would sell his mom's clothing, and that's how they would also make money because it's really hard to make money. You would have to either sell stuff or make stuff, and that's how it really is in like places in El Salvador because I've been there, and in Mexico. So it's really hard to like make money, so you have to make money somehow. And would I recommend this movie? I would recommend this movie if you don't mind violence, because some scenes do get pretty like intense, and you do see people dying and kids dying. But if you don't mind that, I would totally recommend this movie. It's a wild roller coaster of emotions. There are highs and lows in the beginning and at the end and in the middle, so it's all really well rounded, and the story is very nice. There are some tear jerker moments where I almost cried, and like that's how like really intense it is. So if you don't mind the movie is rated R, so it is kind of like for more like kind of up there, not for like families, but it's really good, amazing story, and I hope you guys watch it because it really shows how life was back then and how the military would take children to fight at just 12 years old, so they were forced to fight, and it was just like the movie's called Innocent Voices, like the innocent people would have to go fight. And I hope you guys watch it because it's really such a great movie. I saw it when I was younger with my family, and it to this day, like I rewatched it and I haven't seen it in I guess like 10 years, something like that, and it's still very good.